Yo, what is good, guys? Harry here, and today I'm going to be talking about the best performing targeting for clothing brands. So, over the past like 4, maybe 5 years, I've been running Facebook ads for clothing brands. I've noticed a lot of the same interest targeting works for a lot of different clothing brands. And in this video, I'm going to go through what interests I found work the best and judge them by like cost per purchase, return on ad spend, and also the scalability of those interests. So right here's a spreadsheet that I personally put together with the interest that I'm currently using and I have seen work well in the past. So what I did was split them up into four main categories. The reason why I did this is because you can add to them basically is because let's say you type in Acne Studios, you can get suggestions off of that on Facebook and then target something like that. So these definitely aren't all the interest you can use, but it's definitely a start and ideas, and you can basically use these right away. So first off, we have like general. So this is like very broad targeting, and there's pros and cons to doing very broad targeting. So stuff like clothing, jacket, streetwear, street fashion, vintage clothing, and outfit of the day. All of these interests personally have worked for me, but I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of general targeting and very broad targeting. So these type of audiences have a very large audience size. So they have 100, 200 million people within this audience. This is because most of the population is interested in outerwear. So the main pro of going very broad like that is the scalability. So let's say you have an ad creative that is working in, let's say, streetwear. The audience size of streetwear on Facebook is very vast. So what that means is, let's say you have an ad creative that's churning out 3 or 4x return on ad spend in streetwear, then you'll be able to scale that up quite a lot. You'd be able to put a lot of budget into it and not run out of audience. Or saturate the audience very easily, which is great for scalability. The cons of it is that I found that typically the average order value from these interests is lower. So as the people that you're targeting are not so diehard enthusiasts of fashion, they don't tend to go to your website and pick like 5 different things, make a perfect fit, and then check out. They tend to buy like 1 or 2 things, which lowers the average order value, which means sometimes you get less return on ad spend on those type of interests. Anyway, that's been my experience with them. But still to this day, I do use all of them, and especially street fashion and streetwear because I work with a lot of streetwear brands and I found really good results with them. And then number 2, brands. This is mainly what I use as brands. I will also say as well, in general, one thing that I thought of is that going quite broad like that may hinder repeat customers because the people within those broad audiences may be not your ideal avatar for your clothing brand, and maybe it might have effect on repeat customers. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it kind of does make sense. So the second category for interest targeting is brands. So stuff like Hypebeast, Supreme, Balenciaga, Bape, Zara, Urban Outfitters, and you could have a debate of this could be split up into high-end brands and high street brands, but I've had really good success with targeting like higher end brands like Balenciaga and Raf Simons, especially for return on ad spend, because the people that are interested in Balenciaga and Raf Simons generally, when they're looking to buy clothes, they're used to clothes being 400, 500, 600 pounds, or people that shop at Gucci, people that are interested in Gucci, they're, dropping £250 on a t-shirt is not unusual to them. So when they come to a store or a clothing brand that I work with, spending 200, £300 on their basket, adding 5 or 6 items is nothing to them. And you tend to get a better quality customer. Another thing with targeting brands is that you can position your ad creatives better. So you can kind of personalize to the interest. Let's say North Face and stuff like that. Like North Face works extremely well for puffer jackets, and I know a lot of brands that I work with sell puffer jackets, and you can position it in there because North Face is one of the makes one of the best puffer jackets. And let's say Balenciaga, you can position maybe your brand's like a high end but affordable prices like DV or Represent. People that are interested in Balenciaga will be drawn to that, and you can kind of personalize the ad creative around that. And I think that's personally where Facebook ads are going, is that you have an interest and then you build an ad creative, a campaign around that, and it helps out a lot, I think personally, because you personalize it to that avatar. And also, if they're interested in, if your brand's similar to H&M or Urban Outfitters or Bershka or something like that, I think you'll have a higher chance of repeat purchases if you target that and get a customer through the brands. So magazines, I've had a lot of success with magazines in the past, interest targeting magazines. So stuff like GQ, XXL, Complex, because people that read magazines and stuff like that are going to be super interested in clothing, which means you'll usually get a higher conversion rate from your ads. So next comes rappers. So you can target rappers on Facebook. So you can target stuff like Kanye West, ASAP Rocky. I think personally is the best dressed rapper ever. And people that are interested in ASAP Rocky or Kanye West are normally going to be interested in clothing. And I haven't necessarily dug deep into rappers. I have used them before. I know Kanye West works as an interest. I've got purchases from that before. But there's probably even more rappers, and you can get even more niche down, and maybe it has a better return on ad spend and a better cost per purchase. A lot of the time when I'm interest targeting, I do take the North Face as an example. So brands that maybe you're selling cargos or whatever, brands that are the best at making cargos, you probably want to target something that is closest to kind of what they sell. Another example is a lot of brands now are selling those full zip hoodies that go over the head like Bape did. So it'd be worth trying a bathing ape as an interest if you're selling that type of thing. So what I'm going to do now is hop back into the ad account and show you how I structure my interests and how I find more of these interests. And you can add to the list or whatever. You can make a spreadsheet just like this. What I do is always track them. Last thing is, Hypebeast for me has worked extremely well over the years. Like Hypebeast is probably one of the best interests I've targeted over the years, and streetwear and street fashion. So let's say you're getting a lot of purchases on Hypebeast. What I would do is just duplicate it. And then hit suggestions. And this is basically where I get all my interests from. And Facebook has a hell of a lot of interests, a hell of a lot, like sneaker collecting, Nike, hip hop music. I haven't tried that one recently, but I could imagine it works well. So let's say, for example, we go, take that out, type in Raf Simons, and then a load more come up. So you got Rick Owens, APC, Fendi, Gucci, Stone Island, Stussy, and let's say you're selling coats or something, or puffer jackets like Moncler is on here. And then also how I test is I only do one interest with either 1 to 3 ad creative. So as you can see here, I've only got one ad creative here. So you want to split test your interest targeting, because you won't know if you stack them on top of each other, you just won't know which interest is working. So as well as here, if you're selling coats and stuff, you got Canada Goose, stuff like that. It's crazy what Facebook can really do. So yeah, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope it's been valuable. I kind of made this video for a reminder for myself. A lot of my YouTube stuff is just a diary for myself, so I can go back and have a look, see what was working at the time, and then use it for myself. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.